Hi, Joe. Hope you're well. Yeah, just thought I'd put together this loom to give you an example of the first audit that we're recommending. So in my email, I'll kind of take you through what the options are. We've had a kind of conversation internally. So there's two pieces of work that we think would be most valuable for you as a business to make that initial impact, and also give you an opportunity to see how we work, and how we would work together kind of on an ongoing retainer basis once there's a kind of clearer picture against the current CMS, and whether you're kind of moving to Shopify. So yeah, the first kind of section I wanted to take you through was the keyword research and how that feeds into the keyword sitemap, and the initial optimization for the website. So essentially, at the moment, I've got a good view of the current kind of profile of the website. So I can see all the landing pages that you've got. I can see how they're currently optimized against collections, products, product collections, blogs, for example. I can see the current title tag structure, the current H1 structure, which actually doesn't exist right now. There's actually no H1. So there's little things like this we're going to find, and actually H1 is probably one of the most important factors. So there's so many quick wins, and that's why I think this would be a really valuable piece of work, because I think we can ultimately get this piece of work over the line and implemented, and actually show you success just from that in like a one-off fixed period. And I know the old age saying is, SEO takes 12 months to work, and ultimately, like, having a solid strategy over a long period of time is definitely best practice. But there definitely are some quick wins that we can take advantage of. And yeah, I'm sure this would kind of give you an example of how we work, and why would be a good fit for the business ongoing. So yeah, that's kind of where I would start with that. The process of that and what you're actually going to get from that is something similar to this. It's quite a big document. It's not really the most beautiful document in the world, but it it really stems, it really builds the foundations of the strategy, and will really kind of help stem sort of strength and kind of like the success of SEO. So essentially what we're looking at here is what I call a keyword sitemap. So it kind of consists of the URLs, the landing pages that we've got. We would then go away and do the keyword research against each of these pages. So that's using SEMrush, using Google Keyword Planner. It's using your Search Console data, so we'd need access to that. It's also working with your PPC team to understand the keywords they're targeting there. So we'll almost like, check the PPC search term report against this, and that will give us an understanding of what keywords are converting best for you from an e-commerce point of view, because we want to factor that into the kind of strategy that we put together. And then we kind of look at the current setup, so your current title tags, and we suggest the new title tag based on that keyword research. So we're essentially suggesting, how do we target these keywords in a better format on the website, and that's the same for the H1 as well. So I mean, this specific client also didn't have a H1 for the homepage, so having a more kind of like keyword led H1 has really helped them get to a point where we've improved the results for them. So one thing, so like essentially that's kind of like the process for that initial piece. It's quite a big piece of work, because actually, I think your website is pretty similar. This is an e-commerce business, so there's loads of different products, collections. So we're kind of doing optimization. So it's around over 1,000 kind of different keywords. Yours might even be kind of bigger. And what we tend to do is we'll kind of create notes across each of them. So we'll have different kinds of notes in terms of what needs to happen in terms of brief, in terms of optimization. But this is where we start. So in terms of process, we would have a discovery call with you. We'd kind of really sort of dig deeper into the business and the kind of products and the collections that you offer. We would go away and do the keyword research, provide this kind of keyword sitemap. It would probably around a sort of 3 to 4 week period to really get this together. We'd have another call, kind of share our screen and take you through what that looks like and what the next steps are, and then it's really talking about how do we get that implemented. We would track these keywords. So if I look at I'm just going to quickly jump into SEMrush as well. So yeah, we would then start tracking those keywords. So for example, in SEMrush, if I look at Million Jones, we would have started this process with them in October, initial audit. We saw those increases there in terms of visibility. It was actually a really strong one here, went from kind of 7% visibility to nearly 10%. They then kind of paused SEO in December because they it's not really a busy month for them. So there's a bit of a drop, but I mean that's mainly because implementation, and then we're working with them on a retainer point of view now, so we've seen that jump back up, and they're having a really strong this month in sort of strong month in terms of where they are. But ultimately, like it enables us to really get quick wins like this. So one of the keywords that we identified for this client was beds for teenage guys, or bed for teenagers, beds for teens. That's one of their segments. We've managed to get essentially nearly all of those keywords to first position just by making really basic title tag, H1, schema, content changes with them in that initial consultancy period. Obviously, that's built trust with the business because they're seeing results from the work we're doing. So obviously they were ranking 21st, then our first. That keyword generates 3,500 searches a month. That one keyword alone is, and we can see that across the board. Like we've got loads of different keywords that have now improved. High sleeper with wardrobe, which is another kind of product and segment that they offer. High sleeper with desk, they're ranking first to that, 5,400. So, this is the type of almost we could see these kind of results from a one-off piece of work, and that's why I think it's quite important to kind of say this piece of work will help us build a strategy, but also impact what the business is doing right now and impact traffic and impact ROI, which is essentially what we want to do for our clients. And then it's obviously kind of tracking that. I think we discussed one part is obviously using Search Console, so I can see for Millie and Jones, and we've essentially been able to kind of double the traffic, double the impressions. If I look at kind of like the last 3 months year on year, we're probably at a point now. So we've got around 8,000 clicks versus 2,000 clicks, and then we can see what keywords are. So as I said, like higher sleeper bed with desk, they've had 105 more people come through for that specific keyword alone. That's essentially the goal of this piece of work. And then the other thing to consider is normally with retainer clients, we put together the Looker Studio report. Again, this is something we could potentially do with you in the audit consultancy period if you'd like, but it's maybe something that would sit better in a more of a retainer model. But this is for another fashion client that we work with called Broken Society. I think I might have briefly taken you through this previously, but essentially we can use this to help really understand the conversions and give you a view of how SEO is performing against other kind of channels within the business. There's definitely some areas we can work to there. But hopefully that kind of summarizes what that first piece of audit would be. By the way, with the two audits that I'm kind of quoting for, this is the first piece that we would do, and the competitor audit, which I'll create a loop about now, is the second part of that. So let us know your thoughts and any questions. Let me know. Thank you.